want to get a chance to talk to you a little bit here today about working with Cutco owners and particularly selling to Cutco owners. Cutco owners can be some of our best clients to see, but a lot of times when people are new and they're first starting on the job, they almost see that as sort of a negative thing, like it's a missed opportunity. Someone else beat you to the punch, so to speak. But the thing you have to understand is that when we get the chance to see Cutco owners, there are a million great things that are going to happen with this. First off, they already are sold on the product. Their product conviction is through the roof. And not only are they going to have this great natural enthusiasm, but the stories and time you'll spend with them, it's going to make you better at talking about Cutco to other clients as well. The reality is they're already sold on the product. They already know what Cutco cost. They already have self-identified as someone that understands the value and could get good use out of the products that we have to offer to our clients. They really are the best to see, and Cutco owners love to add to their collection, and they love to buy more knives as long as we present things the right way. A couple quick tips to sort of keep in mind, and then we're going to actually turn this over to Danny Feldman, who's going to get a chance to share some of his experience on his first few demos, getting the opportunity to meet with Cutco owners. You want to make sure that you go ahead and do your normal demo. You want to do your traditional presentation that you would always do. And it's okay just to tell them, hey, like I told you on the phone, I am new and I need some practice. So I'm still going to go through the information with you. A lot of this will be review, but at the end, I'll show you some of the new fun stuff and some cool options that we have for preferred customers like yourself. So you want to set it up that it's a positive thing that they already have Cutco. It's not a negative thing. It's a great thing. Ask them for a customer testimonial. That's so key. Even if you just take a sheet of paper and say, hey, what's your name? How long have you had it? And anything you'd have to say about it. Okay. I keep a happy customer list of Cutco owners in my binder. And it's literally just a one line, hey, this is Amy Graff. She's had Cutco for 15 years. And she goes, oh my gosh, sharpest knives in the world. Or what a great buy. Or this was such an awesome investment. Now, the big thing though is when it does come to Cutco owners, just like our normal drop down we do with clients, you need a strategy, you need a process to go through this. Your demo is unchanged. Customers think they remember things that they don't, and you guys assume they'll remember things they do not. I've had customers say, man, I love my Cutco, but gosh, the only thing that make it better is if it was American made. I really like to buy American. And I just kind of laughed and looked at them. I was like, Cutco is absolutely American made. That's probably one of the reasons you bought it. I've had customers where they broke a Cutco knife, and instead of sending it in for servicing, they literally threw it in the trash because they thought, oh, it was my fault, it broke, and so I guess I'll buy another one down the line. You'll have customers who say, oh, I own everything. I have the big set. And then you get there and it's an Essentials Plus 5. So there's no reason why customers would remember all these details 7 years later, 2 years later, 20 years later. So go in there understanding that you want to go ahead and arm them with information. Throughout your demo, you're going to do your normal demo. Now, you're going to really remind them, even for the pieces they have, on what they're used for. But you also want to remind them what they're not used for. Hey, this paring knife you have, I know you guys, I bet you use it a lot. Perfect for peeling potatoes, taking the tops off of strawberries, but it's never meant to be used on a cutting board, okay? That'll dull it out. That's why you need your utility knife. And so in your manual, it has a lot of these transitions that are baked in. Here's what it's used for. Here's what it's not used for. Beyond that, once you get to the end, what do you do in that last part? Okay, what should our goals be to actually get a chance to go through the different set options, upgrades, closes, things like that? Well, the reality is our goal, as you're going to see in this video, when we meet with customers, just like when we meet with a new client, our goal is to try and hook them up with a set. We always start with the homemaker. When we meet with a Cutco owner, my number one goal is also to sell them a set. When I was a new rep, I thought that was weird. Why would someone buy a set of Cutco if they already have a set of Cutco? It's guaranteed forever. Upgrades made sense. Maybe they go from an Essentials to a homemaker or a galley to an ultimate set, but I didn't necessarily appreciate why they would want to buy a set. Well, here's what you have to understand. It's not a weird thing at all for someone who has a set of Cutco to want to buy another set of Cutco. Around the time I got my BMW several years ago, one of my mentors also got a BMW. Traditionally, had driven bigger cars, Escalades, Navigators, things like that. And he knew he wanted a BMW, but it was hard to pull the trigger on the one he wanted. Okay, the one he really wanted was a 7 Series. But $80, $90, $100,000 for that was a lot to do the first time he bought a BMW. So instead, he bought a 3 Series. It didn't take very long at all before he fell in love with it. And he said, oh my gosh, I love this BMW. Why the heck didn't I get the one I actually wanted? And so a lot of times that happens with people who buy Cutco. They wanted a big set, but they never spent that much on knives before. And so a lot of times they settle for a smaller gift set or a starter set or even a homemaker when really they should have had an ultimate or a signature set. None of these are uncommon. And so it's not a weird thing for my mentor who bought that 3 Series BMW to get that 7 Series. Now, it doesn't mean the 3 Series doesn't have use or value. It doesn't mean it's not worth having. It doesn't mean he drives it into a ditch. What it means instead is he's going to find a way to repurpose that set. In his case, his wife release was running out, so he said, hey, I tell you what, I really want to get that 7. How would you feel about taking over this new 3 Series? That'll be your car, and I'll go get the 7 I wanted. And he did. It's no different than you have an iPhone, okay? I bet everyone I'm talking to has some kind of smartphone, and it's a great phone, and it's more powerful than like all NASA computers combined when we went to the moon, okay? But a year or two later, a new one comes out. Well, it doesn't mean that your current phone is garbage. It means you'll find something else to do with it, and you'll upgrade to that newer phone you're excited about. Maybe what you do with it is you give it to a family member. Who knows what you do, but you'll find a way to repurpose it. The same is true with Cutco. I can't tell you how many times I've had customers give their set to their kids who are getting married, or put their set at their lake house, or give their set to the church, like their 25-year-old set, because they really want that SIG now, and they even want a different color. So what they did instead is they donated their old set to their church to be used for food prep there, working with a homeless shelter, and then they got the new set that they were really excited about. These things are all very normal. You just have to present that as a very realistic option to your clients. So you can see on the screen right now, we have a drop-down process, just like we go from a homemaker, galley, starter sets, all the way to a custom order. There's a process we meet with Cutco owners as well. Our number one goal is to always sell them a set. After that, we'll do a set upgrade. We'll offer the half upgrade, which is the gourmet set, and then we'll go through and do a custom order using the wish list. Now, the wish list is in your training manual. I believe it's on page 13. So when you go through that option, your wish list should have everything from flatware, cookware. You want your wish list to be as big as you can possibly make it. The larger your wish list is, the easier it is to then call your manager, to call the office, and say, my client is looking at flatware, these extra 4 knives, garden tools, a hunting knife, and they really want that entertainer pack. And I was just curious, what kind of discount could we make since they're a Cutco owner? I know they get a preferred discount. I wanted to see what was available for them. You call the office, you take a picture of that wish list, you can text it to your captain or your manager, and they can really help you work some great deals. So just understand, with Cutco owners, your expectations should not be lower, they should be higher. And the reality is there's 18, 19 million families out there who own Cutco. Don't shy away from them. In fact, those should be some of the top people you see. For my part, I would say about 60% of my customers already had Cutco when I first got there. So I can't wait for all of you to have the experience of meeting with Cutco owners. I'm going to turn on this video over to Danny Feldman. Danny's a dear friend and one of the most talented trainers that we've ever had. Now, Danny had an interesting experience where his very first demos out of training were all to Cutco owners, and he really gets a chance to kind of explain what that process looked like for him and the kind of results he could create. So let's turn it over to Danny Feldman.
I like to tell the story of my first 3 demos so that I can teach about upgrades and getting larger orders to people who already have Cutco. I want to tell you the story of my first demo. It was to my ex-girlfriend's mom. It wasn't weird or anything, but I walked into the house, and sitting right there on the countertop, she had a Homemaker Plus 8 sale. I went to a private school in Dallas where they had already seen a lot of Cutco representatives over the years, so I really didn't see clients who didn't have Cutco. So this had to be something I got really good at. So I go into the first demo, she's already got a Homemaker Plus 8, and instantly in my mind I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to sell a Homemaker because she's already got one. So my manager, though, they told me to do the demo just like regular. So I went through the manual, I was doing it for practice. I get to the part in the manual that says, hey, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't ask you, do you want to get the Homemaker Plus 8 set? And I'm literally turning the page, and she says, I'll take it. And I'm like, are you serious? She goes, yeah, I'll take it. I'm like, are you sure? Like, I'm trying to talk her out of the sale, you know? And she goes, yeah, I'll take it. Listen, I've had this Homemaker Plus 8 for a while. I'm just going to give it to my son who's getting his first place, and I'll get the new Homemaker Plus 8 from you to help you out. And when this happened, I mean, my eyes were opened. This is not something that I'd learned in training. I learned more from my first customer than I did in 3 days of training because I knew I was going to go see a lot of Cutco owners. So my first lesson that I learned is that if I see somebody who already has Cutco, the first thing I want to try and sell them is always going to be a what? Well, it's going to be a set. And does it matter what set you sell? No, you just want to sell a set every single time. So the second demo that I did was to Trisha Richardson. And Mrs. Richardson, I walked in the house. She already had a Homemaker Plus 8, just like my first client. So what do you think I sold to her? Well, I sold her an Ultimate. This was my big fish customer. This was the person that I knew was my best client. I was targeting her for a bigger order. So I went into my second demo equipped this time. So when I saw the Homemaker Plus 8, I gave her some ideas of what she could do with it. Maybe give it away to family members, put it at another house, send it to the lake house. But I knew she had a lake house, so that was really the one that she keyed into. So I talked to her about sending the Homemaker Plus 8 to the lake house so they could have good knives there and just getting the Ultimate set for the home. And that's what she ended up doing. And before you knew it, I was really on a roll with selling to Cutco owners. So again, even if I'm seeing somebody with Cutco, the first option I'm always going to try and sell is a set. And it doesn't matter what set, I just want to sell a set. Mentally, as a representative, I thought to myself, if they've already invested this much money in Cutco, it's not far-fetched to think they would still do the same thing again because they love the product. So I always expected to get the same size order or better if I saw a Cutco owner. The third demo that I did was the example I gave earlier where the lady had a trimmer and a paring knife. So I walk in, what do you think I tried to sell her? Yeah, I tried to sell her a set. And how would I sell a Homemaker Plus 8 to somebody who's already got a couple of the pieces that come in the Homemaker set? Well, what I can do is I can offer guidance as to what to do with those pieces. If she got the Homemaker Plus 8, she would now have doubles of the paring knife and the trimmer. And with those doubles, she could take the used ones that she's always had, put it in the new block, take the two new ones out of the block, put it in a gift box, and now she's got a great wedding gift. She's got a great gift for friends and family. I don't know about you, but my grandma always keeps a couple knickknacks in the closet for a rainy day. What a better gift to have than a couple pieces of Cutco. Or if it's just her favorite pieces, she can have doubles, put these in the drawer, send them to another house, whatever it is that she wants to do. So even if I saw a customer who had pieces, I would still certainly try and sell them a set. If I couldn't sell them a set, what would my drop down be? Well, my drop down would be what's called an upgrade, right? And I always want to upgrade customers. This is such a popular option for our company that it's a couple major sections of our price list, in fact. So how would I actually upgrade the lady who has the paring knife and the trimmer? I'd sell her the rest of the knives she doesn't have, plus the block, plus the table knives. Congratulations, she is now upgraded. Could I upgrade somebody with a paring knife and a trimmer to a studio set, for example? Well, certainly. Just sell her the piece she doesn't have, plus the block and table knives. Congratulations, she has a studio. Could I upgrade somebody from a Homemaker to an Ultimate, a Signature to an Ultimate, a Galley to a Homemaker? Anything is possible. Just figure out the piece they don't have, the new block, and the table knives, and congratulations, you have now sold in the upgrade. By the way, the upgrades are going to be right around the same price as a set, so it's just as good as selling them a set if you complete their set. And does it matter what set you sell? No, you just want to sell a what? A set every single time. So if I couldn't upgrade my customer, what then would be my drop down from that? Well, my drop down from that would be the gourmet set. The gourmet set is what we call the half upgrade. It's not the full upgrade to an Ultimate or a Signature. It's about half the pieces, comes with a block, no additional table knives, and it's half the price at about $650 of a full upgrade to a Homemaker or from a Homemaker to an Ultimate. So we do have a drop-down option, which is called the half upgrade, and the gourmet set is specifically for customers who already own Cutco or have a Homemaker set as it is.